Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Explode Your Expert Biz Show. I'm really excited to be with you today. My name is Simone Vincenzi. I am your host, and today I'm going to talk about what is the most profitable strategy that you can use to explode your expert biz. And that's something that we have been doing extensively in GTeX over the past 5 years. And I have to tell you, we use it. The big gurus use it, the small gurus use it, the middle gurus use it, everyone uses it, and it works. The reason why a lot of people use it, it is because it works. In particular, you're looking at the people that are making waves in this industry, they all use this strategy. And I'm an observer. That's what I do. I look around and I check what works in the industry. What are the things that my competitors or people I aspire to be like, then or they are far ahead in my business journey, they use. So then in this way, if they're doing something, it might be that actually that thing works. And in particular, if they're doing it consistently, I'm not checking what is it they are doing every now and then, but what is the thing that those people are doing consistently. And there is one thing that they do, which is a live event, but a specific part of live events. And that's what we're going to be talking today. What kind of live events you can do to boost and incredibly skyrocket your business. And that's something that if you do it right, can make you 150,000, 100,000, £1,000,000 or dollar in a single day, which is kind of insane, kind of exciting, and in particular, very possible. And why can I tell you? Because we have done it, and I have a lot of friends in the industry that are doing it as well. So what is this strategy that we are talking about today in episode 108? Well, the strategy that we are talking about is live events, but in particular, multi-day live events, and in particular 3 days live events. Now, this conversation was inspired by the podcast and the episode that we released with Tim Michael, which was episode 107, when he was sharing the things that made the biggest difference for him in his business. And that's the episode that actually was released today at this very moment in time, which is on Tuesday. So if you haven't listened to the podcast episode, make sure that you check it out. And you can also look at the interview on YouTube and listen. You can watch it on YouTube, listen on iTunes, and check it out on our website too. So now is episode 108, and I'm going to share what is the one that made the biggest impact for GTeX, which is running multi-days live event, in particular 3 days live event. Now, why is this important? Well, first of all, when you're running a live event, there is something magical that happens. The connection that you build with people is second to none. You can do webinars, you can do Facebook Lives, you can do sponsor ads, but nothing converts more than live events. That has been proven time and time and time again. Why? Because we are human beings. Because we connect with real people. So every time there is a screen between me and you, it takes me extra time to build the same level of relationship that I could build if I meet you and I shake your hand. That's how it works. That's life. So how do we create? Why is that important in particular doing 3 days live event? Well, if you imagine this, if you're doing, for example, an evening live event, let's say that you're doing an evening live event. Well, if you're doing an evening live event, I have 1 hour or 2 hours or a couple of hours to build this relationship with you. So that's why it's not working. That's why it will take me more time. It will take me more live events to make that happen. Now, if I'm doing a 2 days or a full day live event, then I'm going to build already a lot of relationship with you. If I'm doing a 2 days live event, I'm building an incredible relationship with you. If I'm doing a 3 days live event, then we become friends at that point, and that's what's important. Then you arrive to the point where you become friends. And that's what makes the difference. That's what makes the sales process so much easier, because at that point, people will want to buy from you no matter what you have, because now they've seen how much you can help them. They can see that firsthand. And that's why this process is so powerful doing live events. In fact, also with Tim, which is watching live right now, thank you for watching, Tim. We recorded an episode talking about live events for his own podcast, the 10 Factor. So make sure that you check also the 10 Factor. You will see the link in the show notes as well. I'm going to make sure you can connect with Tim's podcast. So we said 3 days live event will build an incredible relationship with your clients. Now, because now you have this relationship, immediately you can sell a very high-end ticket program. Immediately you will be able, and now if you see me looking down, it is because I'm inviting people on this live. Now, if you have you can immediately sell a program which is going to be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or pound, even $30,000. The sky is the limit. At this point, really, the sky is the limit, and people will not even debate on the value of that program. And because they are 3 days with you, then they have 3 days in particular to make that decision. So how do we run? What are the dynamics of creating events that sell, in particular multi-days event that sell? Well, I've created an online program called Events That Sell. So the link is here in the show notes. And if you want to then dive deeper from what I say and then what I say in this episode, then it kicks like a little spark in you and you say, no, I want to run my 3-day live event, then make sure that you get the program up until it's on special offer. So now, as I said, we are talking about live events, and in particular, there is something that you need to be aware of. Let's start from filling a multi-day event and the dynamics of multi-day event. Well, a multi-day event for 3 days needs to be marketed very well in advance, at least 1 month to 2 months in advance. Why? Because people are they need to take this time out. They need to take their time off to go, and if they're working already, then they will need to take the Friday off, or they will need to take the weekend off from their families or other commitments that they have. So 3-day events needs to be planned well in advance. It needs to be marketed well in advance. You can fill it up, ideally have it paid. Don't have a free 3-day event. You will find that your conversion will be lower, and also is a lot of money up front because at least, pardon me, if you have a paid ticket to this live event, first of all, you will have more committed people. Then you will have a higher number of people that will show up, that will stay for the entire 3 days, and you can recover the room cost, because now you're running a 3-day event, your room costs will be in the thousands. Very likely. Then you will have other marketing costs, so it will take more time. So make sure that at least they are paying you 200, 300, 500, even £1,000 or dollars to attend these 3 days, because immediately you will pre-qualify them for someone that will be able to then afford or then be in the mindset of buying the big offer that you are going to make. Then the other thing is that you will have to decide if you want your 3-day live event to be just yourself or other guest speakers. Now, what are the pros and cons? If you have other guest speakers in your multi-day event, it will be easier to fill the room, in particular if you have a marketing agreement with them, which means they will share and they will invite their own people. They will make some ticket sales as well, so you get exposure to an audience that you might not have exposure right now. While if on the other side, then you are sharing the pie, and that's something I'm not a big fan of. If you've been to a lot of our live events, or if you've been to any of our live events, you know that there is no one else other than us. Why? Because I'm willing to put extra work, but then I know that the people that are there, they only one option to buy, and that's buy from me or not buy at all. While the more people you involve in the process, then the more the audience will be fighting between, oh, do I need to join this person or this other person? Now, if you have a large event with hundreds or thousands of people, then you can have other guest speakers without compromising much on your conversion, because there are so many potential buyers in the room that that will work financially for everyone. However, if you're running a small event with less than 100 people, then you are sharing the pie, and which means there is less pie for you. Now, if your aim is to make this event your flagship event, I would recommend not to have any other guest speakers. Just having yourself be the only speaker, and then your product be the only product that people can buy. And you will see your conversions skyrocket through the roof. That's how we can make 70,000, 80,000, 100,000 pounds in 3 days with a room of 15 people, 17 people, 13 people. And we have been doing this consistently for the past 3 years. So make sure that, why is that? Because there is no one else. There is no one else. There is just us. We are focusing on delivering incredible value, and the program that we offer is a no-brainer, even if it's 10,000 pounds, and people want to buy. People really, honestly, are excited to keep this journey with us. And this is one of the other benefits of running a multi-day, 3-day event, because they will feel that they are part of something bigger. And that's also up to you to make them feel that way. Feels that these 3 days is a starting point of their relationship. They will have got so much value that they will say, oh my God, I absolutely love this. I want to keep going. And that's how we run the event, and that's how we can make also so much sales and get so many clients and close literally 70 to 80, sometimes 90% of the room on a high-end package, because people, they kind of fall in love with us, and we fall in love with them. As I said, we become friends at the end. We want to keep working together. I want to make sure that I keep helping as much as possible, because now they're my friends, and they want to make sure they receive my help because now we're friends. So that's how that's how you can run this 3-day event. Now, the other thing which is really important is about structuring the content well. Now, for some of you that never run a 3-day event format before, they will say, what? I need to stay there and speak for 3 days? I can't do that. I can't stand and speak entirely for 3 days. But please don't do that. Otherwise, your audience will end up hating your voice. You know, when you listen to a song, then I'm sure that happened to you, and that's happened to me all the time. I have my favorite song, and then I start listening only to that song for 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm just listening to that song, and I'm there in the tube, and I'm boogieing in the tube, and I'm in the car, and I'm boogieing in the car, and I'm walking on the street, and I'm boogieing on the street. And then I arrived to a point just one day when the least I expected, that I cannot even stand the title of that song. I don't want to even listen to it. If it comes on radio, I'm going to switch it off. So that's what will happen if you speak for too long for 3 days. So the way you run your 3 days is creating a facilitative experience, which means you're creating exercises for them to complete. And that's how you're going to have the balance for generally for every 3 hours. I will speak for 30 or 45 minutes maximum. And then there will be another 2.5 to 3 hours where they're going to be doing the exercises, or at least 2 hours. And in this way, they don't get sick of my voice. But what happens, something magical happened at that time. It creates a sense of community within the room. There is a sense of helping and supporting each other. There are friendships that are made. So then at that point, people that started this process together, they will want to keep working together and to keep supporting each other, therefore all together signing up to the program. So that's also why running these 3 days becomes very, very, very powerful. Now, let's talk about sales before we wrap up, because I have a webinar in about half an hour, so I need to jump on the webinar, which will start in about half an hour. So I'm going to cut this episode a bit shorter for tonight. And the sales part, a lot of people, they overdo the sales when, in particular, on a 3-day event. And I've been to a lot of 3 days events where there were 15 speakers and everyone had 1 hour and a half, and they were all selling like crazy. Or I went to this 3 days event where there might be only one speaker or 2 or 3, not 15, and they had longer. But then they were spending so much time selling that I felt that I could have learned the things that I learned there, or the experience I had there, for about half a day, and the other 2.5 days were selling. And I hated that. So now I'm reversing. Over 3 days, I'm selling only for maximum 2.5 hours over 3 days, spread it along 3 days. So people feel that they have not been sold at all. And actually, I've earned the right to make my pitch. And when I make my pitch, they are eager to listen to it, because I've shown them the respect that I have for their time. I told them, you're coming here to work. You're coming here to get results, and you will get the results that I promise you to get. I'm not getting you in, promising you results that you will never have just to upsell you the next program. No, I want to upsell you the next program, of course. I want you to become one of our lifetime members. I want you to pay me £10,000. And at the same time, I want you to want it, right? That's what I want you. I want you to want it. And the way I get you to want it is to show you that I'm the real deal. The GTeX is the real deal. The support that you get is second to none. But I can talk to you about that. But if you experience that consistency over a 3-day period, and also I'm showing with my actions that actually I'm not just interested in making sales, but I'm interested in you as a human being, as an individual, as a person, as a results that you can get, then you will want to keep working with me. Why? Because you see someone different. And this is what I invite you to do, is to find your style, find your way, and be different. Don't be Simone. Don't be Tony Robbins. Don't be T.R. Vecker. Don't be Les Brown. Don't be Mary Forleo. Don't be Arianna Huffington. Be yourself. Be who you are. And that's something magic happen. When you are yourself in a live event, then the audience that you will build, the connection that you will build with the audience is going to go through the roof. And then they will want to work with you more and more and more. And that's why I love running 3 days live event. That's why I absolutely love it. Because it's about the connection, it's about the friendships, it's about the experience that we all have. And then there is one little thing that I want you to add to the equation. And the thing is having a moment of socializing. A moment where you, with all your attendees, you're going out for dinner, and it's just about having fun. And now there are different kind of people depending from events and events. So some people will have just a VIP private dinner, which means people will pay £1,000 or £2,000 or £3,000 or dollars to attend a VIP dinner. And that's great. And that's also a way for you to see who are the people that are going to be more likely to buy the next program. Generally, the VIP, very high percentage of them, they will upgrade to them because they're more invested already from the get-go. But I decided not to do that, because for me, there is no VIP or no VIP. You come all together, the event, let's have dinner all together. Let's have fun all together. But that's because that's the ethos of GTeX. GTeX is together, we grow exponentially. It's growing together exponentially. That's what GTeX stands for. So everything we do is together. So therefore, I'm not making a discrimination if you pay the VIP ticket or not. Of course, you will have a different kind of service, and there are bonuses and goodies that you'd have if you buy the VIP ticket or not, or if you buy the normal ticket. However, when it comes to socializing, everyone is there. And it's beautiful because you have people that are just starting out, sitting at the same table with multimillionaires that we attract in our room. Because sometimes there are people that work, a lot of our clients are multimillionaires, and they want to grow their expert business, and they haven't just cracked the code. They've been very successful in other businesses, but not in building their personal brand, and didn't crack that code yet. So they will work with us. But then there is no difference. There is no this social hierarchy or social status. Everyone in GTeX is the same. And that's a big part of our brand. This is a big part of our ethos as a company. That's something that we will keep always alive because that's how we want the company to run. That's kind of people also we love to attract. So now it's up to you. Now think about what kind of event can you run? What can you teach over 3 days? What kind of product you can sell? Because once you crack that code, your business will take to complete all new level. Trust me. Particularly if you've been in business for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you already have a small following or a large following, and you create something like this, man, there is nothing. Let me tell you, nothing that will stop you to make 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in a single weekend. And we've been seeing that over and over again. We are doing it over and over again. So now is your turn. Now is your turn. Now, if you need any help as well, that's something that we mentor people in. So we help you create your event, your strategy, your marketing plan, your pitch, the structure of the event, the flow. We help you rehearse the content. We help you rehearse the pitch. That's something that we are doing. So there is a link here in the show notes where you can book a call. And if you're interested in my help and support, because I've done about 800 events, so I know a thing or two about creating events that sell, then you want to shorten the learning curve, and you have this kind of, you think that time is more valuable than money. You don't want to go through all the learning experience and wasting all the time and then money to figure it out yourself. Then click the link that there is in the show notes. You can book a call, and then we'll see what's your vision, what kind of event that we can create, and how we can support you to make this vision a reality. Because that's when things get exciting, where the vision gets turned into action and the action turns into a reality. Now is time to wrap up for me. I hope you enjoyed this special episode, this solo episode that we did, talking about what was the thing that made the biggest impact, the biggest difference for GTeX in the strategy that we use the most, that guarantees always guarantees us high-end ticket client, and in particular people that we work with long-term, that we love to work with, to create a company which is not just a company, but a global community of expert influencers and authorities. And I get emotional every time I talk about it. I get passionate every time I talk about it, as you can imagine. But now it's time to get me off the microphone. I get myself off the microphone because I have another hour webinar that I'm delivering in a few minutes. So I'm going to jump on and finish to polish this last slides and send the last marketing message to remind people about the webinar. And then I'll wrap up. So remember that these episodes, the solo episodes, are recorded live on my Facebook page, Simone Vincenzi. And then you can join me live. You can ask me any question while I'm live on the call. And then this is going to be published every Friday. Every Friday is published on our podcast, the audio and the video on YouTube. And also the blog post where you can see in one single page the podcast and the video. Also, if you haven't listened to episode 107 with Team Michael about how to 10x your business, then check it out, because it was an incredible episode talking about what it really takes to run and grow and scale a successful expert business. Guys, thank you very much for listening. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your earbuds. Really appreciate the level of support that you give to us. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please, 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 please. Did I say please? Yes, please subscribe right now. Right now. Don't do anything else. Just subscribe. Perfect. And also, now that you have subscribed, leave us a review. Please, 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 please. Did I say please? Please leave us a review, because that's how you can support us the most. Share it. Let us know what you like. Let me know what you love the most about this episode, because the more reviews we receive, then the more people also can see all the hard work that we put behind this podcast and learn all the things that we are teaching. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next episode. And always remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.